Quick introduction, about a minute from my side. As you all know, and some of you know from earlier also, name is Commander Vijay Kumar, and currently settled in near Mangalore border, Mangalore Kerala border. That is a place called Manjeshwar, which falls within half a kilometer from Kerala. Education has been MSc in Mathematics 73. Then this is from Mangalore University, which is close to my house. Then in the Navy, I did these three various courses. And after I settled here 3 years back at the right old age of 66 years, I completed a full-time course on MSc in Yogic Science. COVID came, then I did a course called Train the Online Trainer, offered by a person by name Brigadier Sushil Basir, is based in Mumbai. And why I'm putting it here, because ever since I did that course in the last June, July, I'm still associated. Every week we have got meetings. Every week, 2 3 days we have meetings and keep learning some new things. And one more program I did in last July, Rewire Your Brain, in 2020. And I'm associated with this company also. Every day morning there is a session. I did ROIB batch number 2. Now batch number 10 is going on. I am continuing with them as an honorary faculty. And during the TTOT, we are told to write a book also. I wrote a book called Rise and Shine, which is published in Amazon. I am one of the 10 authors, of course. And languages, Malayalam, Kannada, Tudu. So don't be surprised, because every child of 6 years in my place knows these 3 languages by the age of 6 years, because it's a border area. I speak Malayalam at home, Tudu in the neighborhood, Kannada in the school. Then, of course, English, Hindi, Tamil, and Marathi. These are my languages. Profession, Indian Navy, 23 years, specialized in oceanography and meteorology. I had a chance to go to Antarctica also for 4 months during 1990. Tata Friend Mumbai, where Dr. Vivek was my colleague, 7 years as head of L&D Mumbai Center. Cognizant Pune for 5 years as head of L&D Pune Center. Retired from here 2010. And Franklin Covey, 11 years, continuing, 7 Habits trainer and a trainer in Speed of Trust. Online, what I offer, this program that you are seeing now, 7 Secrets of Success. Emotional Intelligence I give one, Corporate Ethics I gave it a college, MIT University in Pune recently. Time Management for a IT company in Mumbai I did yesterday. Subconscious Mind. These are the various programs. That's about my thing. Expectation from you, participate actively in chat, because I get energy from you. Otherwise, it will look like talking to a board or a laptop. So keep it flowing in the chat box. Keep your audio muted. If possible, keep the camera on. I am not forcing you to keep the camera on, but audio should be muted. Put your questions in chat. I'll keep looking at it through another device. Attend all days and remain till end, because there is no sale or any other course. So it is very, very safe to remain here with me, because I am not doing this course to sell a higher course or a costlier course. This is a free course because I want to advertise myself, and that is all that I want. No money involved and no sale involved. So that's about the general rules. There is some annotation which has come here, or to remove the annotation, and let it be there for some time. 7 Secrets of Success overview. Today's topic till 8:15 will be reprogram the subconscious mind. Tomorrow is enhance emotional intelligence. Third is discover life's purpose using Ikigai. Manage time productively, collaborate in teams, communicate with empathy, and taking care of our 4 dimensions of body, mind, heart, and soul. Now, this is the topic for today, and what we are going to discuss is reprogram the problems created by EEEs, how to reprogram the subconscious, visualizations, affirmations, goal cards, gratitude, and vision board. These are the topics we'll cover in the next 1 hour. I'll give some exercise to you now. The exercise is, there is a railway track, regular railway track. Parallel to that, there is an unused railway track, which was in use earlier, but now nobody uses it. And there is an interconnection, because earlier both were in use, interconnection, so that trains from here can come to this track also. and you are standing on the interconnection. And when you're standing here, you notice that 10 children are playing on the regular track. And one child is playing in the unused track. And as you're watching, a train has started coming. Train has started coming, and the train is going to go over the regular track because it is the track, and children are playing there without knowing that there is something happening there. The train is coming. Now you have to take a decision whether you will alter the track so that these 10 children can be saved and the train can go in this unused track, so that at the most only one child will be sacrificed. Or you will take the other way around, saying that do nothing, because that is not my problem, children's problem. They should not have stayed there. So you have got 1 minute to decide. Actually, it should not be 1 minute also. You have less than 1 minute to decide, but can't help it. So in the chat box, put 1 if this is your choice, and 2 if this is the choice. Let me see what you're putting in the. So Ananya says 1, Devendra says 1, Dr. Bhatia says 1, Raghuram says 2, alter the track, that is 2, Hema says 1, Prabhakar 1, Raghav Mulia 2, Satish Panchal 2, Sagar 2, Rahul 1, Dr. Mabani, Nitesh Shetty, Sanjeev Sharma, Rajendra Nayak, Giri says 2. Try anyway to signal and halt. The choice is not there, sorry. Only one choice, that is either 1 or 2. Do we have the capability? Yes, we have the capability to change the track. And you are trained for it. You are there and you are trained for it also. Okay, so now see, one problem, multiple, at least 2 solutions, because I give only 2 solutions. Some of you worked and said 1 is the right thing. I don't care about the 10 children. Or somebody said, now you feel pity on those. Now you can't say which is right, which is wrong. Idea is, how did we take this decision? How did the decision come in the split second? Because the question is, how do you take decisions in split second scenarios? Because there is no chance of any analysis. There is no time, such luxury. Nagesh Kulkarni also says 1. No time for luxury to get proper analyzed data and then take a decision. This is a decision which has to be taken on the spur. And when you have to take decisions on the spur, what comes out is from the subconscious mind. Because consciously we can't think, because conscious is an analytical brain. It has to think and give. Now, how are we able to take these decisions? Now, there's a beautiful tree, all of you agree? And is there anything missing in the tree? If it is there, write down in the chat box what is missing in the tree. Yeah, root is missing because root is hidden. Root is hidden. The tree is green, tree is strong, tree is full of fruits, everything is there. And the most important entity which is required to make the tree in that manner is missing, and that is the roots. So tree that you see outside is like the behavior that people see. How do I look? How do I speak? How do I exchange, shake hands? How do you do namaste? How do you react in a particular situation? All these are external, but guiding those is the inside, is the innards. And those are there, then only if the thoughts are good, the behavior will be good. So subconscious mind is the one which controls most of it. And subconscious mind is affected by whatever we have gone through right from the childhood. Even before the childhood, genetics is there, that there is nothing you can do about it. Plus whatever we have gone through in life, that is there. Combined these two combined is the one which has shaped our thought process. And our thought process decides the behavior. And if the thought process is wrong, that means the subconscious has been programmed wrongly. Obviously, the behavior will be wrong. Now, let us see anybody is able to read whatever is written here and put it in the chat box. What is written in the chat box? Let me see whether anybody is able to read on the chat box. Sanjeev Sharma reads, is able to read. Rahul Patki is able to read. Devendra Karna is able to read. And that means others are not able to read because numbers should have come. All, how many people are here now? 39 people are there. So all 39 should have been able to read. Now can you read? Now everybody can read. And what is the difference between this picture and this picture? Nagesh sir, he said station. I don't know if I related to this one. Anyway, there's nothing in this station there. This is fly, as Rahul and others. What is different is either the boundary or the background. So we interpret anything based on a background. That is the problem. We don't see the things as they are. We see everything in a contextual situation. So our environment, in the case in this one, you can say the environment is the boundaries environment. The education that we have had all these years and our experience in similar situations, they are the ones who actually give an interpretation of what it is. And because environment may be different, or education may be different, and experience may be different, we will interpret the same thing in three different manners. If three people are there, they will interpret in three different manners because they're all coming from either different genetics and different triple-Es. Let me exemplify this. Till 1954, the research by physiologists, doctors, sports medicine people, sports athletes, everybody was that it is impossible for a human being to run a 4-minute mile in less than 4 minutes. And there are scientific papers, medical papers, and they also said that if somebody attempts it, is going to be very dangerous because human heart is not capable of pumping to that extent. Human lungs cannot supply oxygen to that extent. And human muscles and human bone structure is not capable of supporting somebody who can run full mile in less than 4 minutes. Fortunately, this person called Roger Bannister was 24 years old that time in 1954, 6 May 1954. That is, I was 2 years old that time. He prepared and ran, and he broke the record. 3 minutes, 59 seconds. And he did not die. He continued to remain, and the ripe old age of 88, he got, by the time he had got an award also, Sir Roger Bannister, and died at the ripe old age of 88. And the beauty is, the moment he finished his record, that is 1954, 6th May, within 1 month, 6 other athletes broke Roger Bannister's own record. That means till 1954, 6th May, there is a mental block saying that you cannot run 1 mile in less than 4 minutes. When that myth was broken, then it got embedded in the subconscious mind of athletes, say that I can also try. Who said it is impossible? When it is impossible, it is impossible. When it impossible becomes I am possible, it is possible. So impossible, possible, everything in the subconscious mind. And unless we correct the lacuna there, we will not be able to do things which we are capable of. So Swami Vivekananda says, we are what our thoughts have made us. So take care about what you think. Words are secondary, thoughts live. they travel. Thoughts become things. To follow the 7 secrets, we have to see the world differently. So change the paradigm, change the mindset, which is conditioned by the triple E's of environment, education, and experience. So this rhino born with a horn between its 2 eyes, metaphorically, it doesn't have any problem. We are only putting the problem here. Any scenery it looks at, he thinks there is a mountain there because he is seeing his own mountain. So if his class teacher tells him to draw a scenery, like we used to draw it in our schools, we used to draw that hills and sunrise and trees and grass, etc. He will first draw the horn. And if somebody tells him that horn is not there, Mr. Rhino, the horn is between your eyes, he will not believe that, because ever since he is born, he is looking at it and he thinks he is part of that. Now we have also horns with us. That is our mental horn, which is blocking our vision of outside. We interpret what we see outside with the prism of our own colored glasses. If I'm wearing a red colored glass, everything to me looks red. If I'm wearing green, everything looks green. The color is not there. Color is within me. So unless I remove that, thank you, Ananya. So that is what energizes me. Somebody gives a comment, like she has given a comment, excellent analogy. Thank you so much. So please energize me till 8:15 so that I got full energy there. At age of 69, I'll need all this energy from you people. So we do not see the world as it is. We see it as we are. The story that somebody was staying in a flat in the next wing of the same building, there is another neighbor who had just come, and she used to keep the clothesline and washed clothes. And this man used to say, what is wrong with this youngster these days? They don't even know how to wash clothes properly. Look at this clothes she has hung on the clothing line. It is supposed to be so white vesty. Vesty is that South Indian white colored cloth which men wear. Not even clean properly. And put enough effort, clean it, just don't leave it to the machine. And every day it was going on. One day this man's wife cleaned the window, and that day the window was clean, and she said, yeah, today the cloth there is very clean. And the wife told him, you are looking through this colored glass window. Our window was dirty and I cleaned it together. So unless I clean my glass and my prism, I will see everything in a different manner. And that is my subconscious mind. So there are 3 rods or 4 rods. Both are correct. So I will not wait for the answer, because from one direction it looks 4, another direction it looks 3. Does it mean that anybody is wrong? Nobody is wrong. My perspective is 4 and your perspective is 3, and both are entitled to have our individual perspectives. It is like somebody looking at the blindfolded and looking at the elephant, touching the elephant and seeing, one says it is a wall and it says it's a snake, other says it's a pipe, and the other one says it's a fan. Everyone has a limited view because they are blindfolded. So nobody can fight with each other. Only when they put all things together, they will get the full picture. So I must have the humility to understand that my vision may be limited or it may be colored. Let me have the opinion of other people also, so that everyone gets a full picture. I'll give a mathematics, because I did my MSc in mathematics in 1973. Now I know only the spelling of mathematics, but I'm entitled to ask you questions. Let me see. 2, 6, 10, 14. What will come next? Very good. Devendra Karna, Veera B, all. Veera is an engineer. Mani Prabhat Raghavendra Mulya is also Bosch engineer. 18, correct. So nice. Thank you so much. Let me give another slightly complicated, more complicated. 4, 7, 13, 22 next. 34. Yeah, I got the answer 34, 43. Maybe wrong. So what is happening is 4 plus 3, 7. Then add, instead of adding 3, add 6. So 4, 6 plus 7, 13. Then add 12. So it becomes 22 plus 12, 34. So Suman, correct. Satish sir, correct. Very good mathematicians here. Congratulations. Now solve this problem. Now solve this problem. Now I'll give you 30 seconds. And it is not easy. सन्नाटा क्यों भाई? इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है? Satish says 4. Wrong answer. If it is a face-to-face class, I would have asked you what is the explanation. 10. No. Now you will not be able to solve it because you are trying to solve this using the methodology that you learned in the earlier one. The early one said, okay, add something, or you add something to incremental increment. Is it simple increment? This is incremental increment. Now here, these are also in a logical order. No link. If it is no link, then I will not give you, Rakesh sir. The link is here. These are single digit numbers by their alphabetical spellings in the alphabetical order. The link is there, but a different link. And because I conditioned your mind with the first 2 examples, mind goes in the same track because of background and experience and the little education that you had just now in the last. So now Prabhakar says, no, before 2, 3 will come, Prabhakar. Because TH, after yes, T will come. TH will be the first one, then TW. Yeah, 3, then TWO, the last will be 0. So I was able to fool your mind into thinking that there is a solution and this is the solution because I solved earlier. Gets into the subconscious mind to the conscious mind, and we tend to take decisions based on that. Thank you so much. Let's see. One more to illustrate the same thing. There are 4 people A, B, C, D on one side of the bridge here. There's a weak bridge and they have to cross from here to here. A is fast. 1 minute is enough for him. B requires 2 minutes, C 5 minutes, and D 10 minutes. They have to cross from here to here. Now there are further complications. Weak bridge. So maximum 2 people can be on the bridge at any time. And pitch dark. Only 1 torch available. At a time, somebody has to come and the torch has to go back physically with another person. Next again, then it has to go back to get the last person. How many minutes required to cross? Minimum time required for all 4 to cross. This requires 1 minute for you to. 3 minutes, who is saying 3 minutes? How can you do it in 3 minutes? You got 17 minutes. Let me see who has written 17 minutes. I want you to just keep that with you and then tell me later whether the solution you got 17 minutes is as per the logic that I am going to give. 6 minutes is not required. Viraj says sorry any case. Manohar says 10 minutes, 21 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not possible. I'll tell you, and I'll show you the method by which if you are able to reduce it from there. Because people have to, you can't lift, A can't lift B and come. Because weight is be taken by the bridge in any case. So Raghavendra says 23. Anyway, most of you are done like this. First A and B go together. It takes 2 minutes. Then A has to come back. 1 minute. Now Anitish said he says 90 minutes. So I'm also going to do 90 minutes here. So A and C, 5 minutes. Then A has to come back so that he can take A and D 10 minutes. Total 19 minutes. Now this is not the correct answer. And those of you are done 19 must I use the same methodology. The correct answer is 17 because if it were 19 minutes, I wouldn't have given this question to you people. And why did you use A all the time? Give me the answer in the chat box. Why did you use A all the time in this scenario to get the 19 minutes? What was your thought process? What was working on your subconscious mind? A is the fastest. He takes less time as compared to anyone else. So he is required for every part of the project. And that is the subconscious mind, what has been put in the class. Why? Because the teacher always called the person who was able to give the answer first. And if I am somebody who is good in sports but not so good in academics, my birthright was in the last bench. And only these easiest questions will be asked. Okay, Vijay, can you tell me the answer? So the teacher wants to motivate me also once in a while. But the fastest person will be asked the question first and he will give the answer. And other people go, oh my God, I'm not getting a chance also to reply because by the time this man has already spoken. So whatever is inside that fast worker is required. And we take it to the office also. Smart worker is required for every part of the project. And he's worked so much that he gets burnt out and quits the company. 17 is the right answer, and I'll tell you how it is the right answer. And if someone had given 17, so I want you to verify whether you calculated like this or you missed out the return thing somewhere. Sir, Rakesh sir, let me see. I'll ask Rakesh sir later. Now, A and B, 2 minutes. A has to come back, 1 minute. Because B, if he comes back, he'll take 2 minutes. Now, C and D are here. Whether they go with A or whether C goes with A, it'll take 5 minutes. D goes with A, it'll take 5 minutes. But C and D can go together, they'll take 10 minutes because D is a slower person. Now, somebody has to come back also. But for that, B is available there. So B comes back to take A. And this becomes 17 minutes. So our myth of being able to do it in 17 minutes without using the fastest worker actually was a wrong experience that we had because of our past. Sometimes slow people also may be useful and getting the project done faster. You should know how to use them, that's all. So was this a new learning for you? If it is a new learning, just write yan, so that I know that yes, I'm not telling some old hackneyed story, that's something you are. Because I've done this 250 times in my 7 habits classes. So somebody were there in the class. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, because I do not want to tell same thing, same old jokes. And because you are with me, you are forced to laugh. It doesn't look nice. Thank you so much. Now, the thought process not changing has led to industries winding up. Kodak had the thought process saying that people take photographs to store memories. Digital came, people were no longer taking photographs to store memories. Why do people take photographs now? Ananya says Bitco. I'll have to explain. You'll have to put in the chat box a little more detail. Share. People don't take photographs to store memories. People take photographs to share memories. Moment you take, it should be there in the Instagram and Facebook and wherever it is. And Kodak was slow in adopting that. And they got wiped out. They became bankrupt. Nokia was very happy with the Indian market. When I went to Cognizant Pune, I was given the Nokia. Sachin Dangle is the witness to that. Nokia 1110. And that was the fashion. And they were very solidly confident saying that nobody can snatch this market from us because very sturdy technology. very, very strong phone. Even it falls from the kitchen into the kitchen sink 3 times and can still assemble it and works. But Indians' tastes were changing. They are coming to smartphone, Blackberries to start with. And I used to feel envious of people in using Blackberry because Cognizant had not started that to accept for a higher level. And BlackBerry thought that they are arrived. And they said, we are the BlackBerry boys advertisement. They also didn't think of changing because they were again arrogant in their own behavior. And they didn't bother about giving their operating system to anybody. So smartphones came with anybody can make apps. So Nokia wiped out, BlackBerry wiped out. Example of Ambassador car is well known. Anyone from the computer science background here has heard of DEC? If it is there, just write yes. Digital Equipment Corporation. Only Vivek Bhartiya, because he's almost from my vintage. Others are all youngsters. Then you haven't heard of this, which was actually a company which was on par with IBM. And their chairman said, and the time when computers were occupying full rooms, that's room size computers. And they are very good in scientific computing. All the IISCs and Indian Institute of Technologies had their computers, tech. I was using it in my Indian Navy from National Physical and Oceanic Laboratory, where you have to do calculations to very extreme accuracy. Deck computers using Fortran 2. So their chairman said, we don't need to worry about reducing the size of the computer because it is not going to come down. And we have a market in any case. IBM did not think of it. IBM went on working on reducing the size, and they were the ones to come out with IBM PCs somewhere in 84 or something, which became IBM compatible PC because Bill Gates started the MS-DOS operating system. Digital Equipment was now later on sold to HP and Compaq, and now younger generation doesn't even know about this. Mindset that it is not required to change was their death knell. One more thing, if I have been told in my childhood that you are no good for something, I'll keep that into my mind. My subconscious, when I want to step out on something, my subconscious mind says, no, yeah, you have been told, no. Now you can say, what? At my age, what can be holding me back? At my age, what was holding me back was that I cannot do any marketing for myself. That means I must do somebody doing a job only. So I was in Navy, then corporate, and then on assignment with Franklin Covey. So they will give me classes initially 10-15 days. I go and teach and come back. No marketing. I just get the assignment, go and teach and come. COVID came, that stopped. So I could have kept quiet saying that, like that story of the who moved my cheese. I did not do that. So I started attending online courses initially to understand what is online, train the online trainer. Then rewire your brain. And rewire your brain was Karthik Satyamurthy is there. I had a one-on-one call. I said, see, Karthik, I can't do marketing. First of all, I'm too old for it. And then I don't need money. Pension hai. Bache settled hai. Apna ghar hai. Why do I need? I don't have to work. So he said, no, you have to work because there is something that you can give. And I then realized, yeah, the most intelligent place on this earth is a graveyard because people have taken all the knowledge there, it gets buried there. Now I want to give part of my knowledge. So my mental block was that I cannot do marketing. Then he gave an idea, then you get popular in LinkedIn. The last 1.5 months, I have been putting my various posts in LinkedIn. 84 people, if they have volunteered for it, because I'm going to send the video to all of them. So I can consider that 84 people are attending, 44 are there. And 50% I told you is a very good percentage for online attendance. And that too for a free training, because normally when they register for a free training, they say, chalo, not required. But 44 people of you have come, and on the marketing that I did for myself without using any agency. So my mental block that I'm not good in marketing is broken because my self-image earlier was, now I'm not good in marketing. So as a person, I should look at the mirror and say, I can do it, then I will be able to do it. And if a lion is there and if it's looking at the mirror and says, I am only a cat, I become old, I have no teeth, I have muscles, then it will have only the power of a cat. Because what is inside, that is the one which is drying her outside. So why are you not applying it? Because the thought process is preventing us. Because we had our bad experience of the past. All of you must have heard of this story, how elephants, which can uproot a full tree and create havoc when they come to land in search of food. But it is not even trying to pull this rope and pull this pole to which it is tied. Because, thank you Rakesh sir, excellent conversion rate, 50%. Because when it was a small calf elephant, it tried. It tried and did not succeed, because for a child elephant, for a calf elephant, that pole was strong enough and the rope was strong enough. It was not able to overcome that. So as it grows, it only has the memory of its trying once and no point even trying. It doesn't even try. So the limiting belief that the elephant had at that time continues throughout its life and is not able to break free. The only time it can break free is that it becomes mad, then all the limiting beliefs are gone. So we do not want to wait till the time we become mad and act in a mad manner. When we are still in our senses, we want to break free from the subconscious mind and its limitations it has imposed by the external agencies on the subconscious mind, which has colored its programming. We want to break free. So I'm going to talk about how to do it in this class. And that has to be continued by you for maybe 21 days on your own. I'm not going to call you. Don't think that this is a sales starting. No sales. So you have to practice, but I'll tell you what to practice. Put yourself in the top of your to-do list every day. There is something that you have to do every day, what I'm going to tell, so that every day from tomorrow onward to the rest of your life, you are the boss of your life. I'm telling this even to the senior people also here, because when you talk to the youngsters of today, please, because I expect most of you will be able to impart whatever, and I'll help you all. In any case, videos will be there. And you want PPT, I'll give PDF file, no problems. So that when you talk to your own students in your respective places, college, etc., I want you to do this one, because I've given it to you and it should not go waste. So that is the reason I'm talking in a manner that everybody can understand. Though some of the seniors who are almost my age do know these things. But knowing is nothing. Knowledge is not power. Implementation is power. All of the things may be known to us, but till the time we actually implement it, we will not be able to reap any benefit from there. Otherwise, what happens is you are having a Ferrari and you are driving that Ferrari with your handbrakes on. You want to go faster, you press on the accelerator. The more fast it goes, the more is burning off the tire. And the brakes are our own thought processes within our own mind, which is not allowing you to get the speed we are entitled to, which you all deserve. Overthinking. We are never in the moment. Ananya here is a mindfulness coach. Mindfulness, the Buddhist concept, means being in the present. We are either reliving, that means what has gone in the past, or we are doing pre-living, that means what is going to happen in the future. And the story is about a Buddhist monk and his own disciple. They had to cross a river, and there was one young woman who was also struggling to cross a deep river. So she asked for the help from the monks, and the old monk readily agreed. He took her on his arms, and with that, he crossed the river. And as soon as he crossed the river, he put her down and continued on their journey. And this young monk is not even talking. 1 hour went off, and the old monk asked, "Beta, what happened? You're not talking." And the young monk says, "See, we have been told that we should not touch any. We are monks, celibacy, brahmacharya. We are not supposed to touch any person of the opposite sex. And you held her in your arms and crossed the river." And the old monk said, "I had left her on the other side of the river. You are still holding her. Continuously you are thinking about that, which I have forgotten as soon as I cross the river." So we keep all sort of nonsensical things in our mind, and we are not able to live in the present. So be present, practice mindfulness meditation so that you are enjoying whatever you are currently doing and not thinking of the past. One more problem that our education system, unfortunately, designed for rewarding those people who can exactly write down what the teacher has told in the notebook, mug it up, and reproduce exactly the same thing. And teacher is very happy that this particular child has learned everything as I taught, even it is something wrong. So in this race among the various animals, if the teacher says, first to climb the tree, that is the winner. Who will be the winner? No scope for creativity, education system. So in this race, who will be the winner? Monkeys. The monkeys are made heroes just because bird will not be, because bird it doesn't follow the process. The process is you have to go by climbing. Bird will say, "I'll fly." No, that is not as per the process. That is not the rule. Bird will fly. So you are not allowed. You are taken shortcut, na? Climbing only monkey will do. Elephant, in spite of his body, he says, "I can't climb." Fish is so good and strong in swimming, disqualified. So education system has colored a subconscious mind that only the person who comes first in the class is the winner. No, I come back to my native village after being away from 40 years. I found out that the person who was always getting regular beating from the class teacher in my primary school, and I compare to him and me, there is hardly any difference. Because he worked hard in his farms, he educated his children, they went to Gulf, they sent money. What I have and what he has, hardly any difference. And he was considered the most useless person in the class, failure, leaving behind, those days failure is very common. So I crossed 3rd standard, he will be still in 3rd standard, I became 4th, then he'll be still 3rd, when I go to 5th, he'll be in 3rd. But now today when I look back, there is no difference between me and him as far as the style of living is concerned. Because he used his energy on something else. He was a good agricultural thing and staying very close to my house. So education should have given what we are good at. And we are going to talk about it in the next class tomorrow. Knowing your ikigai, etc. Day after. That has actually colored our mind that I am no good in this one. So how to change the thought process is what we are going to do it now, because this is action. So all this so far was Gyan. Now comes the action, implementation. How to change that thought process? And I am sure that all of must have heard of affirmations. You must have started also. Even I started affirmation for some time back and I stopped, but again I started. Affirmation is telling yourself. Example affirmation is here. I will tell you. Well, that is supposed to come after a few slides, but I'll put it now itself. So choose whatever you think is required for you. If you are undergoing some painful physical problems, you tell yourself, I am free of pain. If you are lacking energy, you say, I have an abundance of energy. If you're having bad days, tell yourself, today is my day. Today I'll change my life. If you're feeling weak for whatever debilitating reasons, sickness, corona, tell yourself I'm strong, because moment you say I am weak, and I saw somewhere today, somebody written, when I'm healthy, do I ever go and tell my friend or my family member, hey, I am very healthy, huh? मेरा तबीयत बहुत अच्छा है आज. But we are not healthy. What is the first thing that we tell other people? The close ones. आज मेरा तबीयत ठीक नहीं है. Today I am not feeling well. When you are well, you never bother to tell that you are well. You only tell not well when you are not well. And that telling that I am not well is going to make us more unwell. Because you are actually planting the seed inside the mind that I am unwell, I am unwell, I am unwell. And subconscious mind says, Tastu. And you become more unwell tomorrow. So when you are healthy, you go and get up in the morning. I am healthy. I am full of energy. Today is my day. There is no pain. I am loud. If people say that nobody likes me. There is a story like one mother was waking up her son in the morning. He said, call him, whatever name, call him John. John, get up, get up, get up, John, get up, get up. John says, no, mommy, I don't want to get up. Again, mommy goes after 10 minutes, John, get up, beta. It is late. You have to get up. You have to get ready to go to school. John says, no. He says, no, mommy, I do not want to go to school because nobody likes me there. The teacher doesn't like me. The children don't like me. I do not want to go to school. Mommy again comes back, beta, go to school. You have to go to school. You are the principal of the school. John was not a child. I never said John's child. I said John, beta. And beta can be child to 50-year-old man. So even a principal of the school does not want to go to school when his or she is not liked by the people surrounding, the children or the other teachers. So when I say I am not loud, there must be some reason. If I am somebody who doesn't even smile at people, then how will people love me? And smile is something which is freely available. It doesn't cost anything. But unfortunately, we are brought up in a situation where ego comes in between. Small children in the fetus smile 400 times a day. And that continues even in the cradle as soon as they're born. What happens to the number of smiles in a day when children become adults? Any guesses? Let me see. How many times an adult smiles in a day? Let me have some random numbers. Rarely correct. Only for jokes. That also sometimes even people will not even laugh for jokes. There are some people, isme kya hai? It comes to, I think, around 20 times a day people, adults smile. Because when become adults, it becomes an ego issue. When I meet somebody, why should I smile first? Let him smile first. I'll smile later. Yeah, they don't even laugh. So when I'm of that type of constipated phase, who will love me? A smile gets a smile. You don't lose anything. You get a smile back. So practice smiling. Unlimited energy will fill my body. Today, the magnet of, if I say, I am not at all creative, I have no ideas. Because 2-3 times I tried, it did not work, But tell yourself you are full of ideas, your magnet for ideas, ideas will, even if you can't think of ideas, somebody will give you ideas. How it works, we'll discuss. The sunrise fills me with confidence. Whatever challenges come my way, I can overcome them. You are giving that boost in the morning. Boost is the secret of my success. Not that boost, this boost of affirmations. Today I will learn and grow. I'll be a better person today. I'll help someone today because there is something in law of attraction. Law of attraction says whatever you wish to get will manifest itself. Only thing that the wish has to be full of strong desire. Apne ko chahiye. And should be more than my own life. It's like somebody has put me under the water and I'm gasping for breath. I want air at any cost. The desire should be as strong as that. And then it also says that I want this much money. I want 1 crore. And for 1 crore, what will I do? I will say, I told myself that I want to earn 25 lakhs in this year. I want to touch 10,000 people. I want to earn 20 lakhs from stock market in this year. And I'm doing it, one, to get money so that part of the money I can use for helping other people. So there is a law of attraction, there is law of giving, and the law of clarity. You're clear in your thinking, what is that you want? So I'm clear in my thinking that I'm good in training, I will do training and get training. I'm not good in stock market, but this manifestation, people can mute. The manifestation, a certain frequency vibrates. We are part of the supreme consciousness. Indian philosophy says we are Jivatma and Paramatma, both are same. The Advaita philosophy says we are part, Hema, somebody has to mute. Let me see whether I can mute everybody.
So Mr. Mani and
yeah, you may not know.
Is on.
Mani, yeah, Mani.
Nagesh Kulkarni, sir. Speaker.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
You're muted, no problem. Because I was trying to mute from here. Yeah, it's okay. So, like I did MS in Yogic Sciences. The department is called MS, the Department of Yogic Sciences and Human Consciousness. And Advaita Siddhanta says what consciousness that we have is part of this infinite intelligence. The Western people like Napoleon Hill, they call it infinite intelligence. In our Indian philosophy, we call it as supreme consciousness that pervades everything on this universe. And according to the Western study itself, and the books like Secret and Earl Nightingale, The Stranger's Secret, I'll give you links for that later. When you vibrate with this sort of desire, feeling happy about it, this sends a signal to the universe that Vijay is asking for this. So I ask for the stock market when I know that I am not cut out for analyzing the stock market. Some nowhere, my friend of my MSc Maths days of 1973, we somehow contacted each other 6 months back, and he said he's making around 25,000 rupees every day by stock market. So I said, when you buy 1,000 shares, buy 100 shares for me. When you sell those 1,000, sell 100 for me also. Even pretty large, I don't care. So he is working for me free of cost because I have asked the universe to help me to get money from stock market. And yesterday I made 14,000 rupees. I mean, he made 14,000 rupees for me in my account. So manifestation is something you need to try and get it. So these are affirmations. So choose whatever you think is required. And of course, Google is there. You can get for any number of affirmations. So affirmation is that. Next is visualization. And this author by name Maxwell Maltz has written a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. He was actually a cosmetic surgeon. So initially when he started practicing cosmetic surgery, there was an accident victim who had lots of scars on the face and properly repaired, no clue of the accident scars. But when the mirror was shown to her, she said, I don't find any difference. Then he realized the scar is not on the face, the scar is within her mind. And unless the mind can be changed, the external cosmetic surgery has no meaning. And he wrote this book, I think 1960s book it is. It's available as audiobook and you can even get YouTube versions also. And there he talks about something as a mental rehearsal. Suppose I had to go for an interview, maybe with my client or maybe with my manager, anyone. I have to visualize the whole thing in all its intricate details. I have to use all my panchendriyas, sense of smell, sense of visual, sense of touch, sense of taste, all 5 indriyas. Imagine that I'm entering the room, the door is creaking sound, then I go inside, I see the entire decor of the room, I pull the chair and sit down there. That person is a smiling face or whatever face is there, and he's asking these questions, and I'm sitting in this manner, rehearse those questions, what he is likely to ask. And he says, when he did that and went for an interview, the audio is spoken by somebody else. And he says, when I did that, when I actually went for a meeting, I realized that a sense of deja vu. That means, hey, ye to pehle hua hai. Because he has practiced it so much that what comes out is what he has.
No.
Viktor Frankl, you must have heard of. He was imprisoned by Nazi and by Hitler. He was a psychiatrist. And he saw his own colleagues and other friends and relatives dying. He said, I have to have a meaning for life in order to sustain myself. So he used to visualize that, he is outside the jail. He is in a college. He is teaching psychiatry to his students. 24 hours, other than when he is sleeping, he is practicing those lectures. And he survived the Holocaust. He did not die because he had a strong inner desire to live. And he came out and then he became a professor of psychiatry. There is an actual video of what he's talking about of 1945 vintage. I'll send it to you later. There is another person who was imprisoned in Russia, Soviet Union. He was a normal, he was not even a sports person. But imagined inside the jail that he is playing chess with the grandmasters, different grandmasters. Before going to a jail, he must have seen some games, how each grandmaster plays. So in the mind, he is playing chess games, making moves. And after some time, some 10 years, he was actually supposed to be hanged, but then he was released courtesy Ronald Reagan's intervention. And he came to Israel. He became a minister in Israel. And then the grandmaster, somebody was visiting Israel. He played with the grandmaster, of course, not one-to-one playing. The grandmaster will play with 50 people, and he was also playing with that one of the 50. And in that one of the 50, he actually defeated that grandmaster. And when asked, I have already practiced this game in my mind, how we are going to play. So it is so powerful. Celebrate your past. Don't look at negative things of the past. Celebrate what happened in you. Stop resistance. Your mind says, no, ye hone wala nahi hai. This is too much. It can't happen. It won't happen. Stop it. And whatever ideas you get, put it in a notebook and write it down in a notebook. And then every second rehearsal, perfect it. So this whole theory is written in this book, Psycho-Cybernetics. And also you can put it in the... Now goal setting, goal card. Make a small card, visiting card size. Your main goal, what is that? Like I said, trainer, 10,000 people, 25 lakhs. Stock market, 20 lakhs this year. Laminate it, put it in your pocket and read it morning and evening. How it goes? It goes inside this mind. Vision boards, I won't talk about it. Self-talk should be of positive. Law of attraction, I already told you. Now, this one I just copied today only. Hema will know about it because this is part from the Rewire Your Brain program. So one lady by name Meenal Khedkar. It is her vision board. Vision boards are nothing but a pictorial representation of what you want in various fields, in emotions, in your social, in your finances, in your health. This is a sample, what she has made. And this is supposed to be in front of you all the time. And a photo of that can be on your screensaver. And you can also write how much money you want. Because you are sending signal to the infinite intelligence. Apne ko ye chahiye. And you are not asking, kaise dega tum? You are going to say, मैं ये करने वाला हूं. अपने को मांगता है. I want this in Mumbai language. अपने को मांगता है. तो मांगोगे तब भी मिलेगा ना, like Tata Sky advertisement. Mango. If you are hesitant to mango, then you will not get because infinite intelligence doesn't even know that you are asking for it. Are you asking for it? तो मांग तो रहा हूं तो मिलने वाला तो है नहीं. विजय ने बोला है तो मांग लेते हैं. बकवास है, कुछ नहीं है. Motivational talk है. In that case, it will not accept it. Because to be able to get it, you must ask for with it full conviction that you are getting it. Rather, you have got it, not future. So this is the vision board. So good habits and morning rituals. What are those things? Let us see. One is start the day in a very strong manner. That is smile. अभी क्या smile करेगा सुबह सुबह? What is there to smile? There are so many things there are for smiling. A good number of people who slept in the night did not get up because they're dead on their bed. Agree? You are awake. You are alive. Good number of people are awake, but they cannot get out of the bed. They are bedridden. I can get out of the bed. I'm lucky. I got a house and a shelter. There are many people who do not have shelters. I have a family who will say good things to me when I get up in the morning. So there is good air and water and light and sunlight, all those things. I have good things to enjoy. So be grateful and smile. And in spite of that, you are not able to smile, just take a 5 rupee pen and bite it between your teeth. When you bite a pen between your teeth, the muscles fall into the same formation after a smile. And brain thinks that you are smiling, and brain tells the hormonal system, secrete Serotonin, secrete endorphin, secrete oxytocin, all these good, feel-good chemicals. We are a chemical factory. So 5 minutes of this will make sure that your smile actually becomes on the face, because by the time the hormonal actions have taken place. Program the subconscious mind, tell the subconscious mind all the information. Acha, very good is going to happen. Today I'm going to be the star. Today I'm going to do very well in the office or business, wherever it is. And if you don't agree with me, tell at least for one day for trial basis. Get up in the morning. Aaj ka din bakwas hone wala hai. I'm going to get thrashed everywhere. The manager is going to do this thing. My customer is going to reject me, and things will happen because you have said that it should happen. So don't even try. Try only positive things. Gratitude, I told you. Yoga and meditation, power hour bolte hain. For 20 minutes of exercise, which I do as yoga and meditation. 20 minutes of yoga or exercise, then 20 minutes of meditation, and 20 minutes of reading something new. So 1 hour you spent in the morning like this, you are fit for the rest of the 23 hours. Now, happiness and richness. Is there any connection between happiness and richness? Are rich people happy or happy people rich? And why so? Shweta says PDF available in Google. That is for affirmations. Maybe you're talking about psychocybernetics. Yeah. PDF for psychocybernetics there. Please download it. See, problem is, Gyan hai, action nahi hoga, kuch nahi hoga. You have to read it yourself. I can't tell it in 1 hour. Yeah, Shweta says it, yes. PDF for psychocybernetics is there. You can download it. So Richard Branson, I think last week, he went into space along with one Indian origin person also was there. So Wing Commander Rakesh says, rich because you are happy. This is actually a statement by Richard Branson. I am not happy because I am rich. I am rich because I am happy. Unhappy people will never be able to attract riches. In Kannada, there is a bhajan. It says, Lakshmi, all of you know Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. It says, Bhagyada Lakshmi Baramma. Ba means come. Bhagyada Lakshmi Baramma. Now, when you say Bhagyada Lakshmi Baramma, when you are crying, Lakshmi looks at you from a distance itself. He says, my God, iska sada hua face nahi dekhne ka mujhe. You say Bhagyada Lakshmi Baramma with full of cheer, with the full of happiness, and then Lakshmi comes there. And this is Richard Branson. So gratitude, we are not doing for others' sake. It's not happy people who are thankful. It is thankful people who are happy. So gratitude, they say, it's a great attitude. So early morning, expressing gratefulness to all other people makes us positive-minded. So this is all from my side. 2 minutes before I'm closing some case